Hi everybody, this is Toto from Spielberg in Austria. Dreadful weather at the moment, so we can't run. So I'm very happy to spend some time responding to your questions. Hi Christine, yeah, we are really happy in racing. You know, you're putting an Arabian thoroughbred in a cage that doesn't function. So all of us were really looking forward to go back to the racetrack. We love the competition, we love the truthfulness of the stopwatch. Austria has been great. I mean, it's a fantastic country. I might be a little biased here, but everybody really enjoyed being out here, hiking, cycling, and just spending times with the team. And so the same for me. So I like the how can I say, the setup actually, and the way it was organized. Alex, what I missed most during the lockdown is not having been able to really be with the team. I enjoy the relationships within our organization and with the Daimler guys. I like the competition a lot. You know, in everything you do in life, in politics or in a business environment, there is always excuses. Formula One, the stopwatch counts, and you're either good or not good enough. And this is something I really enjoy, being benchmarked and benchmarking myself. So that was the bit I missed the most. Hi Rashid, it's obviously not great not having the fans on the track, because they make it. We race for you guys and for all of them who are able to come to a track. That makes the whole experience much better for us as well. Within the paddock and in the garage, I must say there is not a big difference. We work in the same way as we have always worked. From a certain angle, it's down to the core of the competition. You know, there's much less interviews, much less sponsors and partners that are around, which I enjoy spending time with. But here it's all about the racing, and so I'm trying to find the positives in a situation which overall is not great. Being able to go racing and what the FIA and FOM have really achieved is amazing as the first global sport to really get going. Well, thank you very much. My wife Susie said, well, why have you cut it that short? You're not 17 years old anymore. It's easy. So no, she didn't cut it. It was a hairdresser, and I was in Austria, so our lockdown actually ended at the beginning of May, and that's why I got my hair cut. It's very different, Karam, because what we do is that we have all flown in charters. We are in our own little bubbles. We are being tested every 5 days, which is not a pleasant experience. They put a big stick into your nose all the way up into your brain, or this is at least how it feels like. It is what it is. I'm very proud on the organization and the regulator that have been able to get us back to racing, and that is the most important. Hi Tyson, it was a bit of an unusual path into Formula One. I was in the finance industry for a long time as a private equity investor, but always with the love of racing. I tried to make it as a racing driver, 18 years old, and then stopped, got back into it more as a hobby. And then at the age of 35, I was able to somehow merge the two worlds and invest in racing teams, in a rally team first, and then in a touring car team, and then found myself as a non-executive director and shareholder of Williams, and then eventually I got the call from Mercedes. And so it's always about being open-minded about the opportunities. And what I love is the stopwatch. You benchmark yourself against everybody else, and there is an ultimate truth about it. You're either good or not good enough. Hi Joshua, that's a very good question, which I get often. I am the only one from the core group that has not a specific task in looking at some data. I don't need to follow temperatures, pressures, or safety cars. So what I'm looking at is how the race pans out. I'm looking at all the timing screens, I'm looking at all the messages from the other drivers, and I'm trying to give our engineers who take the decisions common sense and some kind of different perspective. So my role is pretty hands-on. My interaction with James, our chief strategist and head of strategy, is very active. He would normally say, this is what I'm thinking, and we brainstorm. Most of the time I won't interfere into his decisions, but sometimes when I think they are lacking a perspective, I'm trying to show them that angle. So it works well. We are very open when we discuss and debrief on races, whether the interaction was good, the communication was on the right level, so it's important to discuss that. But I would say, yeah, I'm pretty involved. Ashman, what would I do? I'm thinking about that a lot. I really like racing and the environment. I like to interact with the team. Whilst you are doing it and you like it, you shouldn't be looking left and right. But if there ever comes a moment where I think I gotta do something else, I think a door will open and then I'm gonna find another interest. 20 years of my life I was a finance investor and I loved it. And then somehow racing took the last 10 years and who knows what will happen in the next 10 years. It's not easy because we're just 1/3 of the population within the team in Brackley and in Brixworth. Working from home has changed a lot of the pattern. And then not having the fans on the track is also not great. But in a way, even being able to race and provide some entertainment for you guys and for us to benchmark ourselves against our competitors is nice, and eventually a normality will kick in. It may be different in certain ways, but I think the racing will come back to what it was before. Hi Stephen, that's a good question. You know, I'm always trying to be in the moment and concentrate on what is rather than what could be, and I'm really happy with Lewis and Valtteri. I think we have two fantastic personalities, great racing drivers, and a good dynamic among them. So these are my favorites today. Alejandro, is a good question. I think the mindset that we have is that we're always not quite satisfied in what we do. We're always skeptical if our performance will be good enough, and we never rest on our laurels. The truth is, in this day and age, yesterday is not worth a lot. It's history, it might be in some kind of book or some kind of record, but what counts is today and tomorrow. And this is what we are really interested in. So in a way, we are always looking forward. And you can look back once you stop. Then you can say, okay, this is the record, I've done good, or I've not done good, whilst being in the moment is just today. And I'm just looking at free practice now and at the qualifying and at the race tomorrow. This is what counts, nothing else. My favorite thing, James, outside of Formula One is spending time with my 3 kids and my wife. They are good fun. All 3 of them are very different. Yeah, that's the best time. I couldn't wish for happier moments than with the 4 of them. Hi Barbara, yes, at the beginning of my racing, it would always happen that I forgot my toothbrush or even my underpants. That was pretty awkward, so I needed to wash it myself every evening. The last few years, my logistics work pretty well. I have a good group around me that make sure that my shirts and trousers are all in the cupboard. So most recently, no, I haven't forgotten anything. I was lucky enough to meet him. He's actually a pretty cool guy. I once sat in a taxi in New York and I got an unknown FaceTime call from an Austrian number. So I picked it up and it was Arnold, which was pretty funny. My favorite quote, let me think. I think everybody wants me to say "Hasta la vista, baby," or "Get to the chopper." So yeah, it's maybe those 2. I hope you liked my answers, not always on a too serious note, and speak soon again.